Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Yeah? Snow day?
We're coming to you from a little bit of a different situation today.
Yeah?
We're still on the couch,
We did just eat delicious food.
and Love is Blind is paused in front of us.
The reunion.
But it is my 10th snow day. If you don't know,
Technically 10.5.
Okay, relax. I'm a teacher. I live in Canada.
Eh?
Neal lives in Canada with me, but he's American. But we don't hold it against him.
Dang.
You think that line is so mean, but it's like, read the room, man.
But it's a joke from... It makes a joke from A Night at the Roxbury.
I've never seen that movie.
If I told you you had a nice body, would you hold it against me?
That's a Britney Spears song.
But A Night at the Roxbury came out in the 90s? So,
the Love is Blind reunion for season 10 came out last night.
after much...
Technical difficulties, which we were going to stay up and watch it, but then at late, I was like, it's not on for another hour. Let's go to bed because I'm not even under the influence, so I might not have legitimate thoughts. And then
it's when you're high, you have legitimate thoughts.
Yeah.
It should be the opposite.
No, my opinions are way bigger. I feel that they're more meaningful. I feel like I make a better point if I ever get to it. On the rare occasion that I can land on my point, it's an excellent one, usually.
Right.
So we go to bed, and Neal's like, okay, but then you're banking on a snow day, A, and B, what are you going to do, wake and bake? Which I've never done before. And guess what? Here we are.
Yes.
Guess how many minutes into the reunion we made it before I looked at Neal and told him to pause because I already have things to say.
Well, let me preface this.
Okay.
We didn't start getting to the couples until 6 minutes into the show. So technically, we're 6 minutes into the reunion.
We are paused at 12 minutes.
We gave Christine and Vic their 2 minutes.
That is crazy. Neal is actually a reality television show producer. He's not, but he could be. Because he's like, the only couple that makes it, if they're still together, Vic and Christine, they're going to get 2 minutes at the beginning of the episode and then they're going to disappear. Right. And I said, well, I hope they at least maybe ask for their input a little bit as the face of a success story for the show. And what happens? They introduce everyone. Weirdly, they've brought back all the contestants
but I
to be
get
the
it now
audience.
because it's season 10.
Okay, yeah.
So that's acceptable.
But is it less weird or more weird that means the families aren't in the audience? Because sometimes we ask the family their opinions. Or do you think there's family members still there? Well, we'll find out, I guess, if they need to talk to anybody.
The only family member that they talk to is probably...
Ashley's dad.
Yeah, and we don't want to put him on television.
His arrogance is something else, too. As much as everything he clocked was right.
Right.
So Vic and Christine, so spoilers, obviously, we're talking about a reunion here.
Yes.
Spoilers. Vic and Christine are still together. They are beautiful. They are perfect. As Nick Lachey said, nauseatingly perfect.
Yes.
I love them.
They saved the show from getting canceled, 100%.
And they were like, how do you feel about being the couple that didn't get to go to... They went to Mexico, right?
No, they went to California. Malibu, California.
No, they did. Where did everyone else go?
Oh, yes, they went to Mexico.
Yeah, how'd you feel being the only couple that didn't get to go? And she was like, well, my friend said to me, you're too boring for reality TV, which is exactly the answer. They didn't send you because you guys only chose one person from the beginning, so there wouldn't have been any drama between anyone else.
Right. So, that's why I don't think they're going to ask them for input, because they don't know anybody else.
That's true, too. And Nick, but they were in the pods for the whole duration.
Yeah.
Nick, I got a cough. Gosh, I need some tea. Nick said to them, "Oh, it's the first time that we followed 7 couples. Like, don't you feel we're so happy they did that so that they followed you? Meanwhile, you feel and everyone feels that they shoehorned them in so we had one success story."
Right.
So like, oh yeah, we're so lucky. We give it up. Let her just say, "I'm too boring for reality TV." I loved that acknowledgement that it's basically like, yeah, the producers didn't want to focus on us because it wasn't worth it. Basically, is what she was saying.
And
without saying
they
it.
saved the show from being canceled 100%.
Right. Okay. I have thoughts about Jordan and Amber already, which is what we're paused on.
I just have an overarching thought.
Okay.
So they're not together. They last 3 to 4 months. They didn't move in together. They, right there, are the poster child of why going to the altar doesn't make sense anymore. Because they should have been allowed, especially when she has a child, should have just dated.
That sucks that they have to go through the divorce process when they didn't even live together.
Right.
Like, they should just be able to get an annulment.
Like, let's look at how unrealistic the show is. But in
Lay it on me.
this season specifically, they had 3 different cities in Ohio worth of people. So there's a 99% chance that you're not going to live 5 minutes from the other person or 15 minutes from the other person.
Right, so you're almost moving away from... I mean, in the Netflix list, they are listed based on their cities.
Right.
So, like, if you're doing away with that, then just cast, like, Midwest, West Coast, East Coast, and see how serious these people get about each other and see if they can make their lives work with each other. Stop doing just cities. But then your argument is that because they did separate cities, no one was ready to move to the other.
Right.
Because we're all
You'll
in our
have
30s
even
and we're
lower
established.
success if you do people that live in different states. So, like, that they were especially doomed because there's a child in the equation. You live in separate areas.
You're talking about a different school zone, like daycare, if she goes to like some sort of after school care. No, that's a crazy ass.
But like even in a big city, like if you're in Chicago, if they're doing a Chicago season again, you know, you still might be an hour away because of traffic.
I know, but honestly, if you're going on a show because you say you're ready to settle down and get married and you can't figure out an hour distance, then you're not ready.
Well, I'm saying he should have just moved in with her. It was the perfect setup. And she was even willing to move like half, but he wasn't ready. They shouldn't have been forced to go to the altar. They should have been encouraged by producers not to go to the altar. But then this whole situation is, I think, the poster child, how Vic and Christina are the poster child for saving the show. They're the poster child for canceling the show. Because for them, it was going to be doomed no matter what.
Right.
They were never going to make it.
Right. There were literal gasps
Yes.
in the audience when they said yes. So
Yes.
let's go over this.
Okay.
Because we know that now Jordan has come out basically, and we've been watching a lot of last season of Summer House, and this relates. In last season of Summer House, Kyle and Carl both needed to be right, but more importantly than that, and the girlfriends clocked them on this, more importantly than that, they needed the other person to agree that they were right. Like, I cannot stop until everyone sees my perspective and sides with me. That's what I think Jordan and Amber are going to continue to do on the stage. That's what they've been doing since the show came out. And the one little spoiler that I know is that she's been doing it since this reunion came out, to back up what she says or to refute what he says this.
He's not going to do that. I mean,
He has been.
on social media?
Yes, that's my point.
I thought he'd be too lazy for that.
Wait, maybe he didn't.
I haven't seen...
Well, no, he's the one who came out and said, we talked about it the night before, and I told her I was going to say no.
Okay.
Alex said that too, right? Ashley knew I was going to say no.
Yes.
Jordan has said we talked about it and we weren't ready. That was the last discussion we had, was we weren't ready. Maybe he didn't explicitly say I'm not going to say yes or I'm going to say no, but he said the night before we were talking about that we weren't ready and that we were on the same page in that. So when we got up to the altar and she said yes, I said, because remember I told you this and you're like, oh my God, so it literally was a surprise. The surprise on his face is, holy shit, I didn't think she was going to do that.
Yeah.
So part of him probably said yes because he didn't want to be the asshole who said no after she said yes. A. B. On the finale episode, on the wedding episode, he says it's because, I was just following my heart. I wasn't expecting her to say yes, but when she did, I said, okay, let's go for it. That is the very rose-colored glasses version of what happened. Amber comes out after this on social media, and she always has receipts, is the thing about Amber. And this is the other thing. We go into this anti-Jordan. Because you think he's not ready to be on the show, and you get mad when people are not ready to be on the show.
Again, clearly
you didn't like Amber either.
Right.
But you were anti-Jordan.
Right.
One spoiler we have coming away from this is that Amber and Ashley look worse. Like, Jordan and Alex are still bad, but they're not the only ones at fault here. And I think that's typically the case. Very rarely, unless you're ex-fiance is like a murderer, very rarely is it 100% someone's fault.
Right.
So this is why I think Jordan and Amber will get nowhere and aren't good for each other, and actually shows that she wasn't ready for this either.
There's no way she was. She was picking fights over nothing at like the first day.
So, what was my point? They've been going back and forth. Oh yeah, so Jordan is like, hey, we were both going to say no. She caught me by surprise. I just followed my heart. I went for it. That's what he says. She came out and said, here are the texts I sent to the producers the night before that said, I'm still thinking about it, but right now I think it would be a yes. Like, she told the producers the night before that she was probably going to say yes. So I doubt very much that that was a major surprise to him. And if it was, then it kind of shows that she was trying to, like, produce the show. I know the producers probably have to ask your thoughts and stuff like that. That's probably part of their job as, like, your personal handler. Oh my God, I would love to do that. Be a personal handler for adults. I work with 7-year-olds. If I can handle 37-year-olds at one time, I can handle being responsible for 2 adults. You know, they all get their own producers because they're filming at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most of the girls get their own producer in The Bachelor once they're narrowed down to so many. You know, like once you go to hometowns and stuff, you all have your own, maybe. No, that wouldn't make sense because it's filmed consecutively. Or what's the opposite of it's concurrently? It's not filmed concurrently because there's only one Bachelor. Okay, anyway. So now here we are on the stage at the reunion. Jordan speaks first. He says, we lasted 4 months. We never lived together. Here's what he's doing. He's planting his flag on the main reason. This was the first thing you wanted to bring up. So this is me going, you need to pay attention to me. Hello? I'm really sorry if that snap was loud, people. This is me going for Jordan's throat right now, okay? You spoke first. You gave a reason first. So that was you led with your strongest argument.
Yes.
So he said, she has a lot of trust issues from past men and past relationships that have not healed, and I felt like I was healing a hurt I did not cause. Or like making up for a betrayal that I never did. You know what?
He said it very well.
Totally.
Yes.
Good argument. I think great argument. Here's the thing. We know this devolves. because we know spoilers. There's something around her drinking. She storms off saying, you said you weren't going to bring that up. So did he choose to lead with this because that doesn't throw her under the bus as much? Like, oh, she has trauma. It's not her fault, but it was too difficult for me to deal with.
This is what I think is going to happen. He brings up
and you don't know spoilers.
A reasoned argument. She immediately starts attacking him. And then he's going to now say, oh, well, if you're going to bring out the claws, so am I.
So you're defending Jordan.
But I think she has the right to defend herself against that. I think he was giving her an out to be like, yes, I have been hurt. This process is very difficult for me. I have a daughter that factors into it. But she's going for the dude didn't want to move in. Dude was going out every night.
Okay, like, this is why I wanted to pause.
Okay.
Because they are both just going after each other. And at this point, it's not screaming and yelling or anything. But Kyle and Carl, they both need people to see their point of view as the right point of view. So he's like, listen, that I was too hurt. I couldn't do this. I made the responsible choice type of thing. He's trying to make himself not look too bad. So she's like, hey, you'd come to see me like one night a week.
Right.
You should want to live with your wife. Yes. So you didn't try for those 4 months. To me, point blank period. Rounds back around to the fact he shouldn't have been on this show, so he doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Right, but that she threw the gauntlet then, which now gives him permission.
Because that kind of implies like maybe he was cheating. Like, what were you going out doing in Columbus?
She...
Is it Columbus?
I think they were outside of... She's outside of Columbus.
He's in a burb.
Yeah.
I don't understand anyone who doesn't want to live in a suburb.
So he... Obviously, yes, he should have moved in with her and been around there more and wasn't obviously ready for this.
Doesn't that say more about me than anything else? I don't understand anyone who wouldn't want to live in a suburb.
Suburbs are the best.
Okay, I'm so sorry I interrupted you.
Well, by her going this way, she's basically alluding to him being a partier.
Right, so unless you're perfect in all of this,
trusted.
Don't go low because I can go low too. Because you're not perfect.
And I don't think he went low. I think he went...
We haven't gotten to the drinking and stuff yet. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to predict. That's why I wanted to pause here. Is this enough, her painting him in this light, for him to bring up the drinking? Done. That's why I wanted to pause while she was still talking.
Yeah.
If he jumps to it at this point, is it a low blow? Has he earned it yet?
No. No-ish. I think he said yes. You know, she has trust issues. I felt like I was being punished for it. She's allowed to be like, yeah, and it's
then he
hard.
Shouldn't have said yes.
It's hard when he's out multiple nights a week.
I don't trust him because I see him a day a week.
Yes, and leave it at that. I think that's fine.
Like this season of Summer House, Lexi and Jesse, she was trusting him wholeheartedly because he was communicating with her so much. Listen, boys are dogs. They can flirt to the moon and still FaceTime you 50 times a day and be obsessed with you. Like Jesse Solomon.
I thought it was Sullivan for the longest time.
He's Jewish.
I know he's
Solomon.
Jewish.
We just had Shabbat.
Well, that's when I was
Friday
like, oh
night.
my gosh, it is Solomon. But we're not talking about Summer House.
He's never gonna not flirt. So you have to find a girlfriend who's okay with that.
Right.
He might never not go to the bars. So he's going to have to find a girl who's okay with that. And that is not Amber.
No.
And they both knew that.
Yes.
Going to the altar.
And we've mentioned this many times.
So they're both at fault for saying yes.
Yes.
Okay, are we ready to get back to it?
Yes, because we're already 20 minutes in and we haven't even started.
Yes, that's Skippers. Come to this part if you want to hear about the Chris drama or the Connor drama or the Bree drama.
We're probably not going to make it that long.
We haven't. I love the way you think. Guys, we'll be right back. Hey guys, guess how long it's been? We're back.
It's been like 3 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 full minutes.
We're still on Amber and Jordan.
I took notes.
It went from 0 to 60 real quick.
They back and forth forever.
Yes.
Which just proves my point.
Which, like, good on Nick and Vanessa for not
interrupting.
Yes.
I think let them volley. Or is it super uncomfortable that we just like watched a couple fight on live television?
Maybe they needed that to move on. So,
well, the point that we just paused, Amber just stormed off the stage. So, needed that.
But that's not what she said in the preview.
No, it wasn't. She said you weren't going to say, you said you weren't going to say that.
Or twice?
Or is it weird editing?
It's probably weird editing. Because there's no way you storm off twice.
I don't know. Okay, we will backtrack, but I just want to say that I like that Vanessa said, I just want to make sure someone is going with Amber. Good for her for not just sitting there quietly. I know she's doing that to make herself look good, but like at least she's taking care of them. They're people handlers. Really, as a host, you have to be people handlers.
Yes.
And I think Nick and Vanessa might finally be getting okay at it.
It only took 10 seasons. We'll see. There's still plenty to go.
Is that the headline of this reunion? That they did
We're
better?
only 17 minutes in. So I'm going to withhold judgment on them until the very end.
Good call.
But
okay.
we need to get to...
I have notes.
Okay.
So, Jordan, you'd only go once a week. He's like, I would drive in for the evening after work, make you supper, sleep, like go to bed, wake up at 5 o'clock to go back. And you would say like, oh, those don't count. So I'm like, ooh, point for Jordan. I mean, like if he was doing that, you have to appreciate that.
That's what set him off when I think like he...
said he like didn't try.
Right.
They're both trying to argue that the other didn't put in the right kind of effort. So like, she's like, it's a 45-minute drive. So she just spiked it right back.
Yes.
45-minute drive, that's almost as long as my commute to work. Point for Amber. Are we keeping track?
But then he immediately fires back, well, you never visited me. What, twice?
She only came twice. So it's only a 45-minute drive.
It was a volley back and forth.
But then she could have said, which she didn't say, was, I have a kid. I can't do that, actually.
But does she have the kid all the time?
It seems like it.
Okay.
Obviously, she has a support system in her life, though, because she went on a reality show. So that's another reason why would she move away from that? That's a crazy ask, again, which is why I think he's in the wrong period for saying yes. And Nick asked him that point blank. You came in and said a woman with a kid was a deal breaker. Do you feel like you should have stuck to that? And he says, no, not really, because Emma, the daughter, wasn't the problem.
Right.
But the lifestyle of it all was. So that's being naive to be like, no, I got along with the kid. Of course you did. You're a giant kid. You got to just sit down and play Legos. That was probably the best part of your week. You probably liked the kid more than you liked Amber. It's not hard to like an elementary aged kid. They're cute and they want to play games with you. And they like snacks. So their moms have like goldfish and bear paws in the cupboard. Life is good, Jordan.
Bear paws are a Canadian snack.
You don't have them in America?
No.
It's like what is it? Like a mix between a cookie and a granola bar?
Yeah, they're very good. Okay.
Like a little muffin.
Yeah.
But not really.
What else?
Her volley, too, well, she only came twice, was, I went to 5 weddings with you. 5 weddings together in 3 months is atrocious. You and I have been together, maybe we don't have friends. You and I have been together for like 4 years, and we've been to like 2 weddings total.
Yeah.
Averaging more than 1 wedding a month is crazy. That counts as effort, Jordan. Sorry, 2 points for Amber.
Yeah, but then what was his volley back?
Wait, I'm not ready, because this is obviously the crux of it all. She makes the point, I just worked all week, and, like, she's a nurse. I have to show up and be on point and be nice and be friendly and meet all these new people, like, weekend after weekend. That's a lot of effort. And he just says, that is so far off. And then he gives us a very detailed story.
But basically, we knew that this happened because it came out a few weeks ago.
Hearing him say the details out loud makes it sound real bad.
Like, he was the best man at a wedding.
She was late to the wedding.
Like,
missed the ceremony, I think.
Immediately got blackout drunk, fell asleep at the table.
Cussed him out in the lobby in front of everyone. He put her to sleep in, like, some random area, which, like, bad call, probably. Right? Like, I get you're the best man. You take her home and then you come back.
Right.
If you're blackout drunk, you get your friend to help you and her into an Uber. You Uber all the way to Mount Vernon, like she did that night, and then you Uber back. Because you're her husband.
Yeah, he made...
So you still look bad for not taking care of her, which is what she brings up. She's like, you left me alone in some room. And he was like, you were, like, unconscious. Like, this is really personal information.
And then she comes back with you didn't say goodbye to my child. And
then where do you go from here?
And then she storms off, how, blah, blah, blah. You knew I had a child. How dare you? How could you do it? I am putting the onus on her for this one. You deliberately came onto the show knowing that you have a child. On a show called Love is Blind, you get married in 30 days. I'm sorry. This is on you. You cannot get to know someone in and out while you have a child that is going to know, if they don't have a child, that is going to know how to deal with a child in 30 days. When you maybe visit the child once, twice, 3 times. To put that on him is wrong. I appreciated his explanation that he didn't know how to leave.
Be like, sorry, me and your mom are breaking up.
What? He didn't know how to deal with that, and I don't blame him for that. He doesn't have a child.
But that also, like, no.
He could say goodbye.
I'm not going to see you anymore, but, like, it's not your fault, and I've really, really loved spending time with you, and you're such a cool kid, and I'm really going to miss you.
Right.
Don't even mention the breakup. There, I just did it. Be a man and do that. He lost. Listen, he got audience applause after talking about, you have, you scream at me.
Right.
And I can't, that crosses a boundary with me. You know how I feel about that. The audience was cheering for him. But then she was like, you didn't even say bye to Emma.
Okay,
and I think he lost a lot of women because that's one of the reasons he lost me.
Said it.
Yes.
Which, again.
We're going lower and lower.
Her bringing up the child feels grosser to me.
You always feel this way about kids.
Yes.
And it is the mother's... Okay, here's the thing. He didn't say bye to Emma. I'm going to victim blame here if Amber is the victim. The onus is on you as the protector to choose the type of man who would know how to say goodbye in that situation. That's the only type of man that you bring around your daughter.
Guess what? You're not going to find that on Love is Blind on Netflix.
So the onus is on her.
Yes.
Period. You just won your case. God damn it. I did write down, and I'm going to use our swear for this episode, if we're allowed to swear. If not, you just beep it out. Oh, no. She brought up the kid.
You've already sworn.
No, I haven't, have I?
Yes.
I don't care. I'm going to anyway. Oh, no. She brought up the kid. He's fucked. That's how I felt. Also, obviously she actually cares, and she is a good mom, because she stormed off when she worked herself up about the fact that she said, I sat you down and had conversations with you that if you are not ready for this, then don't do this. He is a grown adult. Marriage is a commitment. He could have stood up there and said no. And so ultimately he's wrong, because he should have never married this woman.
Well, then my counter to that is...
She should have never married him.
She could have said no, and if she clearly thought he wasn't ready, say no.
But you're looking at him and saying, tell me if you're not ready and we don't have to do this. And he does it anyway. She's been lied to.
Well, you know.
So really, he did betray her.
You know how you prevent this from happening?
Don't go on Love is Blind.
Don't go on Love is Blind when you have a child.
That is like, we're like chicken and egging, and you ultimately have the best argument.
You're automatically setting yourself up for a 99.9% failure rate. Like,
you're so right.
Maybe one season, at least not, it hasn't happened in America. I don't remember if it's happened in one of the foreign seasons. No one has been successful when they've already had a child on this show. It just doesn't.
You're right.
It doesn't work.
And we've had several.
Because you have 30 days to get to know somebody. So yes, I'll even put the onus on Netflix. I bet they're like, we need to find.
Discriminate. Oh, you think they look for them on purpose?
No, I think they want there to be a win for someone with a child. But
okay,
you're casting someone that has a child to potentially get married in 30 days, and then, like you said, having to most likely go through a divorce or an annulment because it's not going to work out. That is almost verging on evil, that you would put someone through that.
As a teacher and an empath, you just won your case.
So I think this is a prime example, including Netflix, of an ESH. Everyone sucks here.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Except somehow Nick and Vanessa in this moment.
They might have, you never know. Behind the scenes might have rallied to cast them. But no, they're doing a great job so far through 17 minutes.
Again,
we're half hour into this already.
Listen,
this is going to be a long one.
This is an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Put this on so that you go further on your spin bike today. Do we have people
spin bike?
That thing?
Yes,
like stationary bicycle?
On your Peloton.
Ew, no one has a Peloton anymore.
I know. Peloton's probably going to go out of business. All right.
Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry.
Pause.
I don't want anyone to not buy a Peloton. I don't know if they're good or bad.
We're going to pause, and we're going to watch at least 5 more minutes.
Okay, we're back going to have more notes. Okay, we're back going to have more notes. I have more notes. Was it green powder?
Yeah.
I just took my greens.
There's still a little bit
to
there.
get some nutrient. Then wipe it off. You're within distance of me. I don't want it.
Oh, okay. So we finished Amber and Jordan, right?
Which we end them on. Amber being like, Jordan's a good guy. They bring Amber back out. They let her have a, what have you learned about yourself from this experience moment, which was a good cap to end it on. She says Jordan's a good guy. She's like, it's not like he's a Chris. I don't think he's a Chris. Yeah. You're the reason I hate men.
Speaking to Chris.
And she says twice, I still hate you. She's like, sorry, but you are the definition of a dirtbag. And I wrote down in my notes, is she drunk right now? Because then she starts going around the room.
She forgot Devante.
Did she forget?
Okay.
She's like, Vic, you're a good guy. Connor, you're a good guy. Mike, I don't have anything really terrible to say about you.
And he takes that as a win.
Going around the room, because they're like, listen, she came in a man-hater. Anyway, it ends well, and we go to Connor and Bree.
Yes.
And the Chris of it all.
And they really focus on Connor for the majority of it, because, he had no idea what was going on during all of the Chris and Bree stuff. And he's like, yeah, I was just in La La Land bowling, drinking
beer. You are such a Connor. Not that you even drink, but you're just a happy dude.
Yeah.
And you're kind of oblivious. You wouldn't have ever thought it was as bad as it was. Because you're just not that naturally suspicious of people. Right, like, oh no, my friend from the pods isn't over there talking about how he'd be fuck buddies with my fiance.
Right.
Because no one would do that.
So they are still together, which I was saying from the beginning of the reunion, she kept rubbing his back, and obviously you're not going to do that if you're not together.
Right.
So, and
has a lot to prove that she actually likes him after being so hard on him all season.
Right, and I had seen posts that they were still together and that, like, she's over the moon for him. So people must have watched this, like, a month ago and leaked some of the footage.
Maybe.
And they asked for Connor's thoughts, and I thought he did well.
I thought he did really well. And they're like, is there anything you want to say to Chris? He's like, oh, no, to Chris? No.
Yeah, like, he couldn't...
Shut it down. No. And the audience clapped.
Him and Nick were broing it up about how much of a bro code breaker Chris is.
This is the headline. Now, what are we at? We're 50 minutes in.
And they've been great hosts. I cannot believe it.
10 seasons.
Nick especially.
Here's the thing. If I go on social media and see... oh, Nick was too... And I don't know. I haven't seen this. If I go and see, oh, Nick was being too hard on Chris, like he was because he's from Ohio. So he's like, I don't know about you guys, but where I am in Ohio, like, we have bro code. And Connor's like, yeah, we do. So they were literally broing it out.
Yes.
And so Nick took that as an opportunity to be really hard on Chris. And then I think because Nick's balls were growing, Vanessa's balls grew, and she started piling on too. So I really hope, listen, if anyone has ever deserved it, it's Chris. So, like, did he just make it easy for them? You can't do that. Like, they couldn't have gone that hard at Jordan or Amber because there's no clear-cut villain there.
Right. But I think...
Chris gave so much villain energy.
There have been villains in prior seasons that they just ask one simple question and then get their response. Yeah. They even held Bree accountable...
for entertaining the conversation for so long.
Yes, for talking to Chris for so long and made her apologize for it. And, like, I was skeptical that they were going to go after her in this reunion because of that conversation.
Yeah,
and
you weren't sure.
I was
if they
proven
take that perspective.
wrong, and that they did.
But I thought she was well-spoken, too. Do you believe what she says? She says she was never grappling between Connor and Chris, so she probably didn't see the conversation for as bad as it was because there was nowhere in her mind that was like, oh, I might still want Chris. Like, that's just not where she was at. She was fully and firmly planted with Connor.
After hearing her answer and redoing the scenes in my head and what we saw... she did at the end, like near the end of the conversation, be like, Connor's my guy. Like, I'm not. So yes,
and she was saying it very matter of factly.
Yes,
like, it's not a question.
I do believe. I will say that maybe, yes, she was stunned into like, holy cow. Like,
well, that's what the other girl said, because we move on to... And they're attacking Chris from every angle because we have to move on to him and Jess, which is the true crux of it all, because that's his shittiest behavior. And Ashley cries and says that she didn't stand up for her friend enough. Like, she should have said more to Chris to defend Jessica.
Yes.
I thought she did. I mean... she defended it as we were kind of in shock in the moment because we thought they were totally in love, totally enamored, like he was obsessed with Jess, and then all of a sudden he's talking to us like, I'm just going to say it. I need to be attracted to someone if I'm going to have sex with them for the next 40 years. Like, where is this coming from?
Right.
And she did say, what, CrossFit, like, she's not morbidly obese. She's gorgeous. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
But yeah, they definitely could have said more.
Yes, and
the other girls. So I love that even they were held accountable for that conversation.
In her apology, apologized to Jess.
Yes,
which was good.
I agree.
Because she should have just nipped it in the bud. She said that, and
whether or not it can be true at the same. I think she kind of did acknowledge that she was wrong for entertaining it for so long. It can both be true at the same time. She was wrong for that.
Yes.
But when she was like... she put it really eloquently because she was talking about how she knew she wasn't her best self during the show.
Right.
So, like, if he can be with me through this, like, life is going to be so beautiful when we're both at our best. And I wrote down the quote. She said, we knew the best days were to come, and now we're living them.
Yeah.
Like, I think, what an excellent example. We're always talking about our prototypes. What an excellent example of a couple who work because they didn't get to the altar. If they'd gotten to the altar and said no, they'd probably be broken up right now.
Right, which, again, because of season 4, season 5, they are strongly advised, if you're going to say no, don't go to the altar.
Right, but I think this shows that it ups your chances anyway. So, like, definitely don't go to the altar.
And, like, they got stronger once they got off camera, so...
And that's interesting. That makes for an interesting reunion. So you have room for that in, talking about the branches that the couples can go. I think you have room for that. I'm rooting for Bree and Connor now.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a success. Back to Chris. Nick says, Vanessa and I had to walk away from the television a few times.
Like, we were super uncomfortable watching all of his shenanigans.
Shenanigans underplays it a little bit. Actually hard to watch, yeah.
Especially when he's like, what's he gonna do, kick my ass? Like, just like by the bathroom talking mad crap about Connor. Like, this
dude who, when you were having trouble with your girl, came and had a one-on-one with you, like, sit down and comforted you. That is shithead douchebag behavior.
It wasn't just confined to the get together at the bar, like.
And actually, you know what? I know Bree isn't innocent in all of this, but I think Chris even owes an apology to Bree. Because that's a really uncomfortable conversation to have with me. You're crossing a line big time to an engaged woman right now.
Didn't he apologize to her?
Maybe he did.
But, like, and then he DM'd her after the get together. Like, they didn't even bring that up. Mm-mm. So it's just like, dude,
I think they kind of brought it up in Connor talking about, like, we'd had conversations about it, but it really took, like, she really had to sit me down and tell me, like, hey, he's flirting and crossing a line, and then to watch it to really see how bad it was. Yeah. Which, like, fair enough, because you can talk about it and you can be like, hey, the other guy I was dating in the pods is, like, being a little flirty.
Yeah.
You used to say you would have broken up with Bree if you were Connor after watching it. How do you feel now?
Oh, I still would. That's still... I think she...
So if you were Connor, you wouldn't be with her.
Right. Unless she was like, okay, producers, get me a copy and, like, let Connor watch it tonight.
Like the whole
conversation, yeah. Like that... She was way too inappropriate. And... Yeah. In that moment...
So you already wouldn't be. But, like, to him... And both of them now, they're like, that's just a blip in our story now. Like, we don't even think about that. Which, like, so isn't that... They went to live real life? They're like, we really treated it as a new chapter. Like, okay, we just did this crazy thing. Now let's just be normal and see how that goes.
And I think that's...
What you genuinely fall in love with someone and then the show comes out and you watch it, you're going to break up now. Like, they live basically together.
I think...
They've merged their lives.
Moving forward, the show should further encourage... if you're not 100% sure, don't go to the altar. Like, still try and be together once the cameras stop rolling. Like,
I mean, you can't force it.
No, I know, but, like, just reinforce that just because the experiment ends doesn't mean, like, you have to.
I mean, they have free will. They know that.
I know. You're not like that.
I get what you're saying.
They emphasize immediately how
say yes or break up.
Yes,
as if they're the only options.
Yes,
that always.
This is a
me.
Marriage show. 30 days marriage. Go to the altar. Put less importance on that and be like, this is a relationship show. If you get married after 30 days and if you find your person, that's great. But it's not the end of the world. But
you don't have to have a big breakup conversation if there's no wedding episode.
Like, that's why, I mean, we're going to get to Mike and Emma.
I guess so. We haven't talked to them yet.
Yeah, in the next part of the reunion where they had just a major deal breaker. So, but like, Devontae and Brittany, they didn't go to the altar. So we'll see if they're still together. He obviously wanted nothing to do with her. But in so many seasons past, we get to the altar, we say no, and you can't come back from that. When it could, like, what would have happened if they wouldn't have gone to the altar and had to make that embarrassing?
Totally. But then there shouldn't be, you have a marriage at all, because then why would anyone be ready to get married after 30 days? I think that's why it doesn't work unless it's this, like, ultimatum, like...
But Vic and Christine were, like, they were the poster child of, oh, hey, this works. Where Brie and Connor are, like...
Because the lines are still blurred, though. Because it doesn't exist as you want it to exist. Also, okay, we need to go back to watching, but, like, LOL at Devontae catching strays.
Yes.
Nick being like, what is that? Is that Devontae's nothing box?
Yeah, Jess was very good. She's with someone from the show.
They're both beautiful doctors.
Yes, Hermol.
He professes how much he loves her and how happy he is to be with her, how blessed he is to have her, all the incredible qualities about her, how everyone in her life is lucky and better for knowing her. Oh, the ultimate revenge. You couldn't ask for something better than the hot doctor in the audience to be like, this woman is incredible, to be like, in your face, Chris, you fumbled the bag. But, like, that's not even what it's about for her.
Right.
Like, Chris isn't even a thought in her mind now. That's so amazing that they're all just over him.
Yes, and I like that Nick was like, Chris, you set a record, never been done before. You managed to make everyone on the cast, men and women, hate your guts.
Dude, he is kind of getting bullied. But I'll be mad if people are like, oh, they went too hard on him. You get mad at Nick and Vanessa every season for throwing people softballs and not holding the villains accountable, because you're absolutely right. We have had some serious villains in the past.
We can also give Chris his credit for showing up and taking it, because
he's contractually obligated. Look at that man's face.
Right. Yeah, he's a
Grumposaurus Rex.
In prior seasons, the villains have been confronted and they just, like, I don't want to be here. Like, I'm just here. Like, he at least answered some questions.
He took accountability to save face, and then Vanessa was like, hey, are you just taking accountability to save face? And then he said some more bullshit to save face.
Yes, he is a bullshit artist through and through. Yes. We're going to go watch the rest, hopefully. And we'll be back.
This is taking all day. Okay, we got to the end of the episode. Are you proud of us?
I hope so. We tried hard to not talk.
So how much did we watch? 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
So we finished Jess and Chris. We move on to Emma and Mike. Mm-hmm. Who...
She's still in love with him.
Oh, yes. She was, like, beaming at him when he was speaking.
Full of regret. Her major point, she was like, you know, we had so much fun beyond the talking about her not being sure she wanted kids. She's like, there was more to the relationship than that. And her point was, her yes at the altar was a commitment to saying, yes, I will have kids. Because I wouldn't say yes to you unless I came to that decision, because I know how you feel about it. And so that was me professing, yes, I will have kids with you. And so Nick and Vanessa were like, hey, Mike, did you interpret it that way? And he was like, nah. But he then made it worse for himself, because he was basically like, even if you'd meant that and you thought this was legitimate, but he's like, you know, if you were wishy-washy on it, you changed your mind on it, I wouldn't risk getting married.
They said, like, the night before that they had agreed to both say no. And so
your literal Nealness, your objective black and white Nealness is like, you need to sit down and tell me that not use, but her thing was, I was doing it symbolically in front of our family and friends saying yes. And he was like, nah, you need to sit me down and tell me that you're going to have kids.
My thing was, it was, again, meant only in this specific Love is Blind scenario.
Yes.
If they were just dating without the show,
Je comprends.
You wouldn't have to worry about her flip-flopping on like it's different in this case when you're about to get married. And if she does change her mind a week later, then it's like, well, now I have to divorce you because...
Anyway, Mike has a girlfriend. They've been dating for 7 months. She was in the audience, and Emma did not look happy about it.
Her facial...
We did a lot of camera cuts to Emma in between the going to the girlfriend. Let's move on. Alex Ashley. He is such a piece of shit. It is unbelievable. He was so passive-aggressive and defensive towards both Nick and Vanessa on separate occasions.
He was going after... He was like, okay, Nick, name him.
Literally pulling a Sutton and be like, could you identify those specific examples? Could you absolutely suck my dick? Who do you think you are? The most rehearsed, yet meaningless dude I've ever seen. Ashley's like, you chat GPT, like all of your answers are chat GPT. He's like, do you see me on a phone? She's like, you're probably rehearsing lines in your room. No, I don't think he is. I think the bullshit comes that naturally to him.
And Vanessa, again, good on her. She was like, bro,
I'm trying to be real with you right now.
If you would have told the dad when he asked you one of the questions, like, you know what, I just don't know right now, or I don't know, he probably would have been fine with that answer, but you kept saying all this baloney. And he still, every question they were asking, it sounded rehearsed.
And she tried to have, well, first of all, Nick comes right out and says, did you lie? Basically, did you lie during the conversation, right? Did you lie to her dad? Or like, did you lie? No, did you lie in general?
Right.
And Alex goes, to answer your question, and then talks for 3 minutes straight without answering the question.
Right.
So then we go back to Nick, and Nick is like, okay, but throughout this process, did you lie? And then he has to come right out and be like, no, I did not lie. I love that Nick made him lie.
Right.
Because he gets to usually be like, well, I didn't lie about anything because I said this and really I meant this and the timeline was this. He's always got an answer. So good on Nick. And then Vanessa, same thing. She tries to have a real moment with him and he's like, oh, what did he's like... What did he say to her? He was really disrespectful to her. And she's like, I'm trying to, like, help you reflect right now and have a real moment where you can consider that, like, maybe you could grow from this.
He basically just dismissed her and said, all right, thank you. Like, it's...
No, that was the nicer. That was like...
I don't remember that.
I thought that was more than he was ever going to give her. He said, I appreciate that, thank you. Yeah. But even that was to shut it down. No, before that, he was so much more aggressive. And she's like, yo...
Yeah, there's nothing he did in this that made me like him more. Like, he was the same as he was during the show. He's a fake human being.
Yes.
Now, we have to preface Ashley because multiple posts have come out saying that she was seeing someone during the experiment. She had someone that she would go meet.
Which that has come out since.
Yes, that she was hooking up with somebody outside of the show.
So crazy to be questioning him on past timelines when you have a current situationship.
Right. I wish that would have come out earlier so they could have asked her about it on the show.
I don't, though, because then Alex would have hung on to that so hard that he wouldn't have looked as bad, and I think he got exactly what he deserved. He looked exactly as bad as he should have in this reunion.
But I don't think that would have... Mm-hmm. He would have...
If she looked worse, he would have looked better.
He would have tried to spin it like that, but everyone sees through his baloney. But
it is, yeah, you are the worst of the psychopaths when people don't believe you.
So, you said that your spoiler was that she looks bad. I didn't really see anything that would...
No, because we haven't gotten to it. People think she looks bad because they're calling her and Brie and Priyanka mean girls.
Okay.
So we need to get to Brittany and Devante.
Okay, so...
Spoiler, he's engaged with a child on the way.
Which came out weeks ago because once they were apparently done, he dated a girl for a few months and then they broke up.
From like a few months, though.
Yeah.
From like summertime to December. And now it's March, and he's engaged with a baby on the way. You were dating someone else in December. You were on Love is Blind engaged to someone else less than a year before.
Right.
Damn, are we going to talk about the dad in the room? Was that uncomfortable? Was that deserved?
Let's talk about what happened first.
Okay.
So, they are not together anymore. Obviously, Devontae
We'll
and
be in
Brittany.
touch.
Clearly, everyone could see that he wanted nothing to do with her.
Everyone knew he was breaking up with her except for Brittany. So here's the thing. The onus is still on him to make it clear because he never did.
No.
And he took accountability for that.
Yes.
He said, I have troubles being direct with people. I don't want to hurt anyone. But her main thing is that happened. We texted back and forth for 2.5 weeks, but I never saw you. So I texted you and said, if you don't want to be in this, please tell me so I can move on with my life. He texts her and says, no, I want to be in this relationship. He says he does that so that he can break up with her in person. Okay, but
She's giving
say
you the
I'm going to talk to you in a couple days. Right. Basically, like, don't call her and say the opposite.
Right.
You can be like, hey, I want to break up with you in person, or be like, hey, can we just wait to talk about this for a couple days without convincing her in the other direction.
Right.
So, objectively wrong for that.
Yes. He's a giant pussy.
So between the time he calls her and says that, and then like 3 days later does break it off with her in person, he goes on a trip with Bree and Priyanka and Ashley to go see Rufus. And all three of the girls are like, he said to us that he'd ended it with Brittany. Because obviously if we thought they were still together, we would have thought it was weird that he came with us. Like, we're all friends. It's normal. Nothing happened. Bree's like, this isn't a thing between me and Connor. Of course it's not, because he is submissive and like she can do no wrong. So he's not going to take issue with it anyway. If he forgave her for the Chris thing, he's not the kind of boyfriend / fiance who can stop you from going to a concert with a dude. Even if he does have an issue with it.
But like, he could have gone.
Well, he doesn't like to fly.
Right.
Yeah, if you went to a concert with... Like, if you were Bree and I was Connor, and you went with 2 other dudes from the pods and one of the girls, I'd have a huge issue with the fact that the girl was there.
Right.
Like, huge.
Right.
So, like, if Ashley has a significant other, if Priyanka has a significant other, and Connor should be like, what is Devontae doing there? Oh, I get it. We're in our 30s. Boys and girls can be friends, whatever. This is a very specific situation. And maybe that justifies them being friends more. But Priyanka was so defensive, being like, I wasn't friends with Brittany. Basically being like, I had no allegiance to her. Because Vanessa very fairly makes the point, but shouldn't you check with Brittany?
Right.
Like, confirm the story of this liar with the girl.
That was weird. Yes. How did none of you reach out to even be like, hey, do
and
you
be
want
like,
to come?
Are you guys broken up?
Or are you coming too? Like, what?
Yeah, is it just a given that she's not gonna... Yeah, great point. And all the girls are like, oh, we're all super close. We all talk to each other. Obviously, there's a lot of underlying animosity there. Obviously, there's Bree and Ashley and Priyanka on one side. And, like, Emma and Jess very clearly stan Amber and Brittany.
Right.
Amber is the one who told Brittany that Devontae went with the 3 girls. And they're like, how did Amber know? And she points to Jordan, and they're like, how did Jordan know? And of course, it's like, I don't know. Someone told me.
Code.
Right.
Yes.
So he says the right thing. I don't know. Someone told me. Yet none of these girls could pick up the phone and be like, Devontae wants to try. And also, he lands... So he kind of invites himself on this trip.
Yes.
But not really. They're friends. Whatever. You all decide to go. Priyanka lives wherever this is. She makes it clear that he needs to stay in an Airbnb and the girls can stay with her. First of all, that means you're not invited on the trip.
Right.
If you have to stay somewhere separate than the rest of the people on the trip, they don't actually want you on the trip. A la Real Housewives of Potomac, Angel putting the girls in an Airbnb and taking 2 of the girls to her house. She doesn't want the rest of the ladies there.
Right.
He lands and is like, my Airbnb is not responding. So had to stay the night at Priyanka's. That's just weird all around. So I kind of believe the girls when they say, like, he kind of moved weird. Now that we know that he was telling Brittany they were still together, it's even weirder.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think they took enough culpability, but I think Brittany wants to give them more than they deserve.
That's fair, yeah.
And I think social media has kind of turned on them for that reason because of girl code. If we're going to talk about bro code,
right,
let's talk about girl code.
Why? Just a simple text to Brittany could have solved a lot.
Yes. You look for the simplest solution.
Yes.
And that was it in that situation. So yeah, it is on the girls.
But also on him for lying to everybody.
Oh no, he automatically sucks. The real argument is whether or not the girls are accountable for it. And I would say yes to a degree.
To a degree.
You're moving, if everyone's so close from the pods, you're moving shady.
Clearly
and fine, like Priyanka doesn't feel like she was close. Okay, well then there were 2 girls that should have said something to Brittany. Ashley and Brie have no excuse.
Clearly, Jess still holds animosity to Brie.
Yes.
And rightfully so.
Which doesn't help the divide, right.
But
apparently all the girls are super tight, according to the girls.
Obviously, she holds animosity towards Ashley, because we kind of went through that when no one stuck up for me enough. So, yes, there is definitely a divide.
But she doesn't blame Ashley for that. She was very forgiving of Ashley.
Right.
She's like, no, but like it wasn't Ashley's responsibility. Like, I don't know. She doesn't outwardly hold it against her. I think because she's just genuinely moved on so much.
Right.
Like, Jess is the winner in all of this.
Yes.
Is the moral of this story.
Yes.
They have a beautiful moment where Zach and Bliss, his grandmother, before she passed away, made a video telling them the gender of the baby she's having, which I think is so beautiful. Yeah. Kind of heavy, but also beautiful. So they have a girl, and now they're going to have a boy. Then we went and had a lighter moment. What was our lighter moment? Oh, Vic and... We went back to Vic and Christine and let them gush about each other some more. So love that they let the married couple bookend it. They got them to go up and sit with all the other married couples. Then we had a ... performance ... Listen, I was super judgmental when Alex Warren did it, and then Ordinary ended up becoming like the biggest song in the world. So maybe this will be number 1 tomorrow.
Well, they did a nice little montage.
It was a nice. I'm glad there were
couples.
pictures with it. Yeah, you're right. It's not as bad as it could have been. Back to Brittany's dad. Holy shit. Was that... you could have heard a pin drop in the room, I think. He's like, hey, Devante, I like you. He was super intense with him. He's like, you need help, basically.
Well, yeah, and he was like, I don't want to see you get destroyed like this. Like,
I want you to be the best version. I think you're a good man. I want you to be the best version of you.
But here's the thing. He deserved it. Chris deserved it. Alex deserved it. Sometimes they need that to get them to grow the fuck up. I use my swear for the episode.
Oh, you are just the right level of man-hater. You're just reasonable about it. Like, you're defending Connor. You're like, well, Connor didn't want to go to the concert. It's okay that he's a beta. It is okay that he's a beta, but I want it to bother him that she went to a concert with Devante. I want him to have a better... I just hope she's actually good to him, Brie is, like she claims to be.
Right, yes, me too.
Because I think Connor and Jess should have been together.
But now that she wouldn't have had...
No, I know. No, I'm totally on board. Guys, what a season. What a reunion.
This was by far the best reunion they've ever done. Nick and Vanessa did such a good job.
Give them their flowers, as the reality show lovers say.
And maybe it's because he hosts his own show in See, it takes so long to make a perfect match. Yeah.
That he just has more experience with
He keeps getting more practice, even though it takes him 4 years to come out with a weird season that lasts like 2 weeks of filming.
I'm over Perfect Match. Isn't it canceled?
No, I'm pretty sure there's another season coming out in like 2 years.
Oh, stupid.
He was wonderful. He asked tough questions. He asked follow-up questions.
I thought they looked cute and in love without like forcing it on us like I usually feel like they are. Like, I don't know if now I'm really reading into it. I don't know if they're in a better spot in their relationship.
Could be, yeah.
But like they seem more compatible and like happier or something. I don't know, it worked.
I enjoy
Which goes back ultimately to Neal's point. Let them stay in a relationship because then you have lots to talk about on the reunion. And I bet this reunion is going to have good, like all the ratings for stuff like the Nielsen ratings.
See, like, if Mike and Emma would have been encouraged to not go to the altar,
would they be together?
I bet they would still be together. Devontae and Brittany, no. Ashley and Alex, well, they agreed to say no, so I don't know why they went to the altar, but
I forgot. This is the spoiler I know. You asked me, are there any spoilers you know? And I said, well, I know more about Amber and Jordan.
Okay.
And I knew that she got drunk at the wedding and that he was going to bring it up. But she has, since the reunion, come out with text messages from the day of the wedding where she's talking about having car trouble and the wedding is totally uphill. And she's like, I can't go any faster than 30. I have like 20 cars behind me. I'm trying to make it. And that's why she was late.
Okay.
But if all the other stuff is true...
Does she have texts that are sober later on?
Then that really only excuses the arriving late part.
Right.
And doesn't excuse the tried to grab her keys and like drive home afterwards thing.
I think
also shows that she was texting and driving. So like that's also a crime.
Right.
So, but it illustrates my point perfectly that they are going back and forth so hard to get to be the right person to look good in this.
I think
you're like this is she's doing a bad job.
They probably would have been better off just not going to the altar and
seeing if they could make their lifestyles more compatible over time.
That would have been beneficial since she has a child.
Yes.
So again,
I don't think they should be together. No. They're an Ashley and Alex. They shouldn't be together. Is that chocolate cheesecake? We're watching a cooking show in the background and they're making the most delicious thing I've ever seen.
But we're going to wrap this up now.
We are, guys. Wow, what a reunion. I hope you feel that way too. It's okay if you don't. People have different opinions.
Right. I can't wait to go.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream? That's
Reddit.
An opinion. You're not wrong if your answer is mint chocolate chip. But like the chocolate chips get hard and tasteless in ice cream. And I love mint stuff. Mint chocolate chips should be so much better than it is in ice cream form.
Right.
Find a way to make chocolate. Like if you make it fudgy, like Ben and Jerry's does with their chocolate fudge, that's still delicious in ice cream. A chocolate chip is just like a stone in my way.
Right. And with that, we're going to head out.
Like and subscribe and comment, guys.
Thank you for listening. If you made it this long, awesome.